The third component, the T in HITS is triple glazed windows, heat pumps, insulation, triple glazed windows. The results are triple glazed windows. We cut about 5% of our carbon footprint, about 2 tons per year, about $1,000 was saved. The investment was about $5,000 or thereabouts, and it takes about 5 years to pay for itself with a 19% return on investment after tax. Now, I just need to be clear about something here. Our windows were 40 years old. They were falling apart and had to be replaced anyway. They were old, double glazed. The seals on the panels are broken. The windows are misted up. You couldn't even clean them. The metal frames leaked heat and cool out of the house in summer and winter. So we were going to replace our double glazed windows anyway. So the costs here, the money saving and the extra investment, is the additional or incremental cost of investing in triple glazed windows above double glazed equivalents. So we spent an additional $4,500 to replace our windows with triple glazed windows over what it would have cost us to replace them with standard double glazed units, which isn't that much when you consider the cost of windows. The money saving is the incremental saving of the triple glazed over the double glazed equivalents, and that's how I calculated the years to payback and the return on investment. So just very briefly, what is a triple glazed window? I know it sounds obvious, but sometimes this can be confusing. A single glazed panel is what you see on the left. It's just a single pane of glass, and it really has no insulating value at all. In the middle, you see a double glazed panel, 2 panes of glass with a 1/2 inch air gap between those two. It is the air that does the insulating, not the glass. The glass contributes a small amount to the insulation, but it's really that air gap that is contributing to the insulation of the double glazed window. The triple glazed window you can see on the right has 2 air gaps of 1/2 inch each and 3 panes of glass. That is double the insulation of the double glazed window because you have 2 insulating air gaps that will keep the heat inside your house in the wintertime and keep the heat outside your house in the summertime. You've probably heard of low E triple glazed windows, and even though I'm a physicist, I'm not going to explain what low E means. It doesn't really matter what it is, but what it does for you is it increases the insulation value of the windows. So the single glazed, double glazed, triple glazed, low E, you can see here the thin black lines on the inside and outside panel of the triple glazed low E window are representing that low E coating. And look at the R value. A single glazed window really has no insulation value at all. Double glazed is at R2, triple glazed at R3 to R4, triple glazed low E R4 to R6. That's a big increase just from having those coatings on the windows. The triple glazed windows we chose were R4 and R5. We chose R4 on the ground floor and R5 on the upper floor. Just by way of analogy, if that technological explanation doesn't really make too much sense for you, here's a way to think about it. That's me, a picture of me in each of these pictures taken by my daughter, Laura. The picture on the left is me wearing a t-shirt. That is equivalent to having a single glazed window. Really no insulation at all. It's just there. In the next picture to the right, you'll see me wearing a green sweater over my t-shirt. That's like wearing or having a double glazed window because you've got a layer of air about 1/2 inch thick trapped against your body. It's the air that does the insulating, not the wool in the sweater and not the glass in the double glazed window. It's the air that's trapped that makes it warm. On the next picture to the right, you'll see me wearing 2 sweaters. That's more like a triple glazed window because there are now 2 layers of air being trapped, the green sweater and the blue sweater. And then on the right, you'll see me wearing the 2 sweaters and one of those shiny foil emergency space blankets that reflects the infrared light from my body or the heat back to my body. So that's like a low E coating on the triple glazed window. So having the 2 layers of air is how the insulation is created in the triple glazed window, and then having the low E coatings on the outside and the inside gives you additional insulation benefits above what you get just from the air trapped in the 2 layers. Looking at how they work, there's a triple glazed panel in the middle there, and on the left side, you've got the outside of the house with the light shining towards the window with ultraviolet light and visible light coming from the sun. The ultraviolet light is reflected away by the low E180 coating on the outside. Now, every manufacturer has different names for the different types of coatings, but low E 180 is a common name for the type of low E coating on the outside of the glass that reflects away the ultraviolet light. And when that ultraviolet light is reflected away, it reduces the solar heat gain from your window, and it reduces the fading of your carpets and photographs and things like that. So it's good to reject the ultraviolet light. The visible light, you'll notice, though, goes straight through into the room, making the room light and sunny. The inside low E I-89 coating reflects away the infrared light, or the heat, coming from inside the room. That keeps the heat inside the room in the wintertime and keeps the room warm and light, but without the fading of the carpets and the photographs from the ultraviolet light, and it gives you that additional insulation benefit from reflecting the infrared into the inside. Let me just show you what these things actually look like, because we can't just be all financial and be all numbers driven when we're talking about repairing and renovating our homes, because homes matter. How it looks matters, how it feels matters too. And here you can see my old double glazed windows. In the left-hand picture here, you can see outside of the right-hand window where the panel has not broken, but on the left-hand panel of the double glazed window, the seal has broken and moisture has got inside and misted up the inside of that panel, and you really can't see out at all. Even though we have this very nice garden, you can't see out at all. The black strips around the edge of the windows are the old aluminium frames from the 1970s. I think even back in the 1970s, they knew that metals conducted heat, but you wouldn't think so. These frames would get frost on them in the wintertime because they allowed the cool to come straight in through the metal frames. On the right-hand picture here, you can actually see some of my duct tape, because these windows are so old, they're actually falling out of the frames. And there's a 1-inch gap between the frame of the window and the wood frame of the window as well. And that was covered up with duct tape before I replaced them with my new triple glazed windows, which you can see here. These are actually crystal clear. Unfortunately, there's some reflected light off these windows, but as you can see, they look a lot better. You can actually see the garden outside. The frames on the inside are now nice wood, which is a pretty good insulator compared to metal, and that contributes to the insulation of the glass too. We get no condensation on the inside of these windows, and we get no frost like we used to get on the inside of our old windows. So in addition to the benefits in terms of cutting our carbon footprint and the savings in terms of money, they also make our house look better. And I don't think we can really separate out how things look and feel, because that's an important part of our homes. And so in my opinion, triple glazed windows give you both a renovation to your home as well as reducing your carbon footprint and saving you lots of money too. For details on triple glazed windows, and there are a lot of details because the different coatings, there are many of them, and there are different ones that I think you should use at different locations, like a north-facing window compared to a south-facing window, or an upstairs window compared to a downstairs window. So I take you through the details of how to shop for triple glazed windows, which types of glass I recommend for which locations, how to get the zero-interest loans. That's all in the book, which you'll be getting at the end of the webinar.